Who?
Yaz here from ComicallyLame with a review for the new Tomb Raider game. Saw it at E3 last year, and like most people, I was pretty pumped up about it. So I waited in line last Tuesday and got myself a copy. And by waiting in line, I mean I downloaded that shit off the internet because I'm a boss. Or because I'm lazy. Probably because I'm lazy. I'm playing this on PC because of the graphics. We'll get to that later. Square Enix realized that the last few Tomb Raider games were failures and decided to reboot the franchise, which is exactly what it needed. No more unrealistic quadruple D boobies toppling over a tiny frame that we all know could not support that much girth. I mean, seriously, her spine would break in half. They decided to choose the route of a normal looking 20-year-old girl. Well, a 20-year-old girl that works out all the time and is into gymnastics and is very pretty. Now onto those graphics. The game is gorgeous. The cinematography in the game is amazing. The game's basically as pretty as Lara Croft herself. Now obviously you're not going to be able to see how beautiful it is because you're watching a YouTube video in 1080 that's been compressed. But trust me. And the great graphics are not just left for the cutscenes. It's the entire game. The entire game is very, very, very pretty. The environment is very rich with textures, and they bring the environment into the game. It's a part of the game. You have to deal with the environment. I've never had wind in a game be such an issue for me before. And the camera angles they put you into, or they force you into, aren't really annoying. They're good. They make you realize how great graphically this game is. Now this is on PC. I don't know about Xbox or PS3. The controls for this game weren't great. They weren't bad. They weren't alright. They're between alright and good. You do a lot of jumping around. Now believe me, this bitch can dunk a basketball, so you're doing a lot of jumping and climbing. Sometimes you'll get all clunked up and you'll jump somewhere or run somewhere that you didn't mean to run to, and then you'll get shot in the head with a bullet because you're trying to sneak. But for the most part, everything you do transitions smoothly. And that brings me to the thing I hate the most in any video game. Fucking QuickTime events. Now you start the first 40 minutes with a bunch of QuickTime events and you think that's how the whole game's gonna be played, and it's not. There's a couple QuickTime events here and there, but you know when they're coming, and you know what to push. So it's not as bad as it may seem at the beginning. Now the first 2 hours of the game, I genuinely felt that I was going to be raped at any moment. I'm not joking, I really did. And even my buddies that played the game looked at me and said, I feel like I'm about to get raped. You have the feeling as you're playing as Lara Croft that you're helpless kind of. They did really good by that. They made that very believable. And I have never seen any character in any video game ever get the shit constantly kicked out of them as much as she does. I'm talking about half the game is her falling down shit. Boom, 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 boom. Blood. Cuts on faces, cuts on arms. She gets fucked up in this game. After the first 45 minutes, she's no longer a sexual icon to you. She's a character that you want to survive and that you actually feel attached to. Possibly the first 3 hours the game plays as, okay, well maybe the first 3 or 4 hours. The game plays as an adventure game with a little bit of shooting, but you're really into the storyline. Very much into the storyline, very much caring about the other characters. But about 3 or 4 hours into the story, you start shooting people. And you start getting guns, and you start shooting more people. And it goes from being a cool, fun adventure game with a thick storyline to Gears of War 3 Tomb Raider Edition where you're ducking behind cover, shit's exploding in front of you, and you're killing 500 dudes every hour. I'm not joking. With that happening, you don't care about the storyline anymore because all you care about is running to the next objective, killing more people, and then more people coming out chasing you, and killing more people, and more people, and more people. It really does. I was playing it, and I was actually getting close to the end of the game, and I realized I kind of have no clue what's really going on, and I don't feel worrisome for Lara anymore, and I don't really care that much about the storyline anymore. So they kind of messed up there. Actually, they messed up big time there. They turned it from an adventure game into literally like a Gears of War game. And so when they added that in, and they made that real heavy, it took away from the storyline so much. And it kind of ruined the game a little bit. Just a little bit, not a lot. There are side missions, there's tombs that you can raid and stuff like that, because you are a Tomb Raider. Or there's a puzzle you have to do with each tomb. Sometimes the puzzles are hard, sometimes the puzzles are easy. Most of the time they're easy. So that's side quests. The characters are annoying because there was one mission I had to go on. I had to get a fucking wrench. Yeah, 3 people on a boat were trying to fix it. I show up, they're like, hey Lara, haven't seen you in a while, let's go, can you go get us a fucking wrench? I'm like, oh, You want me to go get you a wrench? Alright, I'll go get that fucking wrench. Oh, it's all the way on the other side of the island in a big old rusty boat that we crashed here on that's covered by bad guys and a big boss dude? Sure, I'll go get that fucking wrench. You sure you can't search this shanty town that we're in for a wrench? No? Okay, fine. I'll go. See you later. There are bosses. There's a few bosses. Those are cool. I like those. There's only a few of them, like 3. They mesh them in real well. And it's not like they're coming in like boss battle. You don't really know it's a boss until you're fighting it. And you're like, oh, this is a boss guy, kind of. They have a problem with the hardness of the game. Medium is too easy. Hard seems like medium, but then it goes from medium to super hard. There's no real in between. There's no just hard. It's either medium and then boom, super hard, or super hard and then medium. Medium usually is between easy and medium. It's not really medium. So there's a big gap there left out. Like I was switching between medium and hard. I like to play between medium and hard. Sometimes there's another little level there. Sometimes there's insane mode, then hard, then medium. And then in that case, I play on hard. But I was switching between them because there's no leveling. There's no medium all the way through or hard all the way through. Shit changes so much to where the hard seems easy at times. And then the hard seems super hard and you die 15 times in a row. That's the problem I had with the game. Laura does have good character development with her, which is cool. Did not play the multiplayer because what kind of fucking multiplayer could it be? Exactly. Overall, the game is a buy. The whole storyline being corrupted by it turning into a third-person shooter is my own opinion. You may have a different opinion on it. I do give the game an 8 out of 10. It's a buy. It's a good game. You really care for the character, at least for the first half of the game. And it's completely different, and it's cinematic as fuck. I've never seen cinematics like that in a game before. It's beautiful. It's astonishing. They will be making a new one, and I'm already anticipating playing it on the next-gen console. I cannot wait to see what it looks like on those next-gen consoles. Yeah, I did play it on PC, but that's just because the graphics outdo the current console. I can't wait to see how her character evolves from what she went through on this island, from being a sweet little girl at the beginning of the game, and ending as a battle-hardened killer at the end of the game. I just cannot wait to see how that plays out in the next game. So I give it an 8 out of 10, or an 80 out of 100, which is our grading scale. And for Comically Lame, this is Yaz. See ya.